hosted by Matt Riches. Watch the market unfold. $1 trillion tickers, turning data to gold. $1 trillion tickers, watch the market unfold. $1 trillion tickers, turning data to gold. $1 trillion tickers, watch the market unfold. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you're tuning in from around the globe, peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Welcome to the $1 Trillion Tickers broadcast. I'm your host, Matt Riches. It is Thursday, June 25th, 2026. Happy Thursday. This morning, the market is sitting right on the edge of fear. The fear and greed index is at 26, just 1 point away from extreme fear. At the same time, Micron's blowout earnings are giving the AI trade a major boost. We also just got a heavy batch of economic data. Core PCE, final GDP, GDP prices, unemployment claims, durable goods, income, and spending all came out at 5:30 a.m. So today's question is simple. Can strong AI earnings and improving labor market data help buyers step back in, or does hotter growth and inflation pressure keep the markets cautious? I track the headlines, the data, and the market levels so you don't have to. This show is for education and entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research, but you can use this show as a foundation. Before we get into the charts, let's get into the mantra for our mindset. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be happy. I deserve the wealth that I'm building for me and my family. Riches and freedom, they come to our hands. I am the master of all I command. My learning is limitless. My earnings are too. The more I discover, the more I can do. The stock market is a machine of design, and I have the power to make that wealth mine. I am capable. I am skilled. I am bold. Blessings on the journey as the vision unfolds. All right, now let's get into some of this data, y'all. Okay, so at 5:30, we had a lot of data come out. Core PCE price index month over month came in right in line with the forecast of 0.3%. Final GDP quarter over quarter came in at 2.1% above the 1.6% forecast. Final GDP price index came in at 3.6%, slightly hotter than the 3.5% forecast. Unemployment claims came in at 215K, better than a 255K forecast. Core durable goods orders came in at 1.3% over the 0.5% forecast. Durable goods orders came in at negative 4.5%, better than the negative 5% forecast. Personal income came in at 0.7%, above the 0.4% forecast. Personal spending came in at 0.7%, above the 0.6% forecast. So this is a mixed but important data set. Inflation was mostly in line. GDP came in stronger than expected. Unemployment claims were better than expected. And consumer income and spending came in stronger than expected. That tells us the economy is still showing strength, but the market has to decide if the strength is bullish because the growth is holding up or bearish because this gives the Fed less reason to ease. Okay, so we'll get on the charts and I'll show you the reaction that the indices and our $1 Trillion tickers made to that data. But before we do that, let's get into Robert Greene's daily law for today. Title: Create an air of mystery. Daily law. People love mysteries and enigmas, so give them what they want. Today's law is about the power of mystery. Robert Greene explains that people are naturally drawn to what they do not fully understand. When someone reveals something, they become predictable. When someone controls what they reveal, they create curiosity. Mystery creates attention, attention creates influence, and influence creates power. In long-term investing, mystery shows up in the unknowns. The market never gives the full picture at once. We do not know the next Fed decision. We do not know the next earnings reactions. We do not know the next geopolitical headline. This is why investors have to respect uncertainty. The goal is not to pretend we know everything. The goal is to position intelligently while understanding that the market always has hidden variables. For day traders, today's law connects directly to patience. The first move is not always the real move. The first candle does not always reveal the full story. The market can look weak, then reverse. The market can look strong, then reject. Do not rush just because price is moving. Let the market reveal more information. Let the levels speak. Let the reaction confirm the direction. Mystery is part of the game. Discipline is how you survive. Stay patient, stay disciplined. Execution over emotion. Process over prediction. Now let's get on these charts and I'll give you these support and resistance levels. All right, let's start with Nvidia. Currently in the pre-market at 201.61. It is right in our smart money concept support zone. To the downside, we got the pre-market low of $200.39, followed by the midway point of our smart money concept support zone at 198.24. Then I do have a few levels here in the same area, 196.58 at 196.15, and then the bottom of the support zone at 194.75. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high at 202.19, followed by 203.10, and then the bottom of this gap at 203.76. Inside this gap, I do have a level here at 204.70. The midway point of this gap is 205.72. The top of the gap is 207.56. Next, we got Google currently in the pre-market. It's pushing pre-market lows right now. Very close to pre-market lows. It's 340.16. Pre-market low is 340. Underneath that, we got 338, 335.40, 331.35. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high at 342.14, followed by 342.75, 346.40. All right, above that, 349.50. Next, we got Apple currently in the pre-market at 290.46. It's pushing pre-market lows on this candle. The pre-market low is 290.30. Underneath that, we got 289.60, 287.80, 285.80. To the upside resistance, we got 292.25, 293, 293.94, which is the pre-market high, 294.35, 295.25, 296.70. Next, we got Microsoft currently in the pre-market at 632.80. At 362.80. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low at 362.50. The halfway point of our smart money concept support zone is 360.83. I will be buying more shares underneath 360. And then the low of the year is 356.75. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high at 366.50, 367.10, 371, 373.30, 376.55, 378.88. Next, we got Amazon currently in the pre-market at 232.99. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low at 232.55, 230.50, 227.90, 224.24. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high at 234.60, 236, 238.50, 234.90. 240.90, and then 242.42. Next, we got SpaceX currently in the pre-market at 157.47. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low at 155.21. Underneath that, I got 150.72. And I got nothing until 135, the IPO price that I got in at. To the upside resistance, we got 159.86, 163.60, which is the pre-market high, 168.35. Next, we got TSM currently in the pre-market. It is inside the gap at 455.28. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low here at 449.85, 448, 443.86, 443.15, 437.15. The upside resistance, we got the pre-market high, 456.80. The middle of this gap at 458.60, 459.40. Then the top of this gap here at 467.39. Next, we got AVGO currently in the pre-market at 388.81. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low at 385.80, followed by 382.65, 376.96, 376.70, 372.80. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high, which is in a gap at 391.86. Above that, we got 394.30, 465. Next, we got Tesla currently in the pre-market at 376.19. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low of 374.80. Tesla is in a smart money concept support zone. Inside that zone, I do have 373.05. The middle of that zone is 372.40. And then the bottom of the zone is 364. To the upside resistance, we got 379.59, which is a pre-market high, 384.58, 390.50, and then the bottom of this gap at 392.90. Next, we got MU, the story of the day, which had earnings yesterday, blowout earnings. And as you can see, it is here in the all-time high area in the pre-market. Current price $1,233. Pre-market low $1,213, followed by $1,198. Then we got the top of this gap here at $1,168. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of $1,246. I got this level here in price discovery line of $1,313. Next, we got Meta currently in the pre-market at $555.05. To the downside support, we got $554.12, which is a pre-market low. $551.55. And we got this gap down here that starts at $546.75. To the upside resistance, we got $557, $558, which is a pre-market high. $560, $560.97, $563.10. Not too many levels from that right now. Next, we got Berkshire B currently in the pre-market at $493.30. Pre-market low $492.78, followed by $491.50. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high $494.80, followed by $496.95. Next, we got SPY currently in the pre-market at $738.60. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low at $737.54, $736.50, $735.03, $732.60, $730.84. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high at $739.92, $740.70. We got the middle of this gap here at $741.62. The top of the gap is $743.24. Next, we got QQQ currently in the pre-market at $725.85. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low $724.55. We got the bottom of the gap at $723.41, $720.85, $719.93, $715.55. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high at $728.42, $729, $732.50, and the top of this gap is $734.42. IWM currently in the pre-market at $298.67. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low at $296.91, $296.80, $294.69, $293.75, $292.70. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high at $299.14, the all-time high at $299.69. This level in price discovery land 301 and 302.60. SPX currently in the pre-market at 7,414. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low at 704. 7,404, 7,401, 7,384, 7,376. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high at 7,427, 7,428, 7,456. The NAS 100 currently in the pre-market at 29,849. To the downside support, we got 29,792, 29,778, 29,605, 29,594, 29,552. The upside resistance, we got the pre-market high at 29,955, 29,966, 30,214. And the Dow Jones currently in the pre-market at 52,000, y'all. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low, 51,879, 51,800. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of $52,048. And I got a level of 52,197. All right, thank y'all for tuning in. This is the $1 Trillion Tickers broadcast. I'm your host, Matt Riches. This has been the pre-market briefing, and we'll be back for the market check-in. Let's make some money today, y'all.
Chase excellence, never chase money. Why? Because money has an incredible way of finding excellence. Did you chase excellence and not money? Do you have the intellectual curiosity to learn everything you can about this incredible industry and master it? Become the smartest person in the room. Have you mastered it?
Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom.